welcome to A Trip Down Memory Lane Live. I'm your host, David Labosco. Today, we're going to go through my book collection. I've gotten rid of a lot of books just because literally they were collecting dust. But I do have a lot of books that are dear to my heart that I would never get rid of. And I'm going to spotlight a few of them now for you. One of the greatest discographers of all time was Brian Rust. I don't know if any of you remember him. He's done a bunch of discography. Some of them I can't afford, but I have his two-book set, The American Dance Band Discography, 1917 to 1942. Great, great set. I've used that a lot. As is Joel Whitburn's Pop Memories. That goes from 1890 to 1954. That has been a great reference book for me. The two great Bing Crosby books by Gary Giddens. Of course, it's the top of my list. Benny Goodman, On the Record. I looked, and this book is quite old. I think it's from 1970. So, of course, Benny Goodman performed for a lot longer than that. I have two books on Eddie Cantor. The Eddie Cantor Story, A Jewish Life in Performance and Politics. The book isn't as good as I hoped it would be, but I do like Eddie Cantor. This is a bio and discography. It's kind of like the same, like I have Larry Kiner's Al Jolson discography and then Kate Smith. One of my prized possessions that I don't reference enough anymore is the Bing Crosby discography that Fred Reynolds put out. He also put out a Hollywood book that I use. Of course, there's Malcolm's excellent book, Bing Crosby Day by Day. And I have Bing Crosby Just for the Record. It's a nice little book that I continue to enjoy. Now, on the next shelf, it's mostly my wife's books. This is what she reads. Yes, 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight. So we'll just bypass that. My all-time favorite fiction book of all time I have is Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. That's a necessary read, but most of my books are nonfiction or reference. Then we go down, I have some more Bing Crosby books. My Final Years with Bing by Catherine Crosby, The Crosby Years by Ken Barnes, Three Stooges, Tommy Dorsey, Johnny Ray, Bobby Darin. That Roman Candle biography is excellent. Then Tim Morgareth did a Bing Crosby book, I guess back in the late 80s. Whatever happened to him? Jerome Kern, Libby Holman. Then it gets into other popular artists, Irving Berlin, popular singers. Of course, more Bing Crosby books. One of my prized possessions is Dick Todd, King of the Jukebox. As put out in the 90s. I wrote to the author, and he got me in touch with Dick Todd's son, who confirmed when Dick Todd died. And that's one of my favorite books. Charlie Chaplin, an autobiography, book on Keystone Cops. Then we go down to more books. I'm sorry, I have to almost get down to the ground. Young Frankenstein, Will Rogers, the films of Bing Crosby. These are books I don't really read as much as I should. The Hollywood Book of Death, nice little morbid book. Glenn Miller, MGM, Twilight Zone, my all-time favorite TV show, a Judy Garland book, Woody Herman, another great artist I like to learn about, Ethel Waters, a book on Seinfeld, which I didn't know I had, a book Eddie Cantor wrote, Alice Faye. This is probably the latest book I just finished reading during this pandemic, Deconstructing Sammy Davis Jr. Excellent, excellent book. And a book on my all-time favorite movie, Jaws. So there's my book collection. It's rather quickly. It's a shorter video, but again, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed looking at some more of my collection. And again, if you have any requests or any comments, feel free to say the word. So, till next time, this is Dave Labosco, signing off. Take care.